everybody. I'm Pat James. I'm the Community Garden Manager at Grow Food Northampton. And this is Valerie Vignaux, who's been working with us on planned giving for the organization and also working with me on creating will. So welcome to Grow Food, Valerie.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Thank you. So let's just start out by saying, why do we need a will anyway?
Well, here's a little known fact. You all have a will. Everyone has a will, even if you haven't written one. The state of Massachusetts writes a will for you, even if you haven't had one prepared. There's a law that dictates who will get your stuff when you die, even if you haven't done a formal will. But it might not be the way you want your stuff to go. So it's a good idea to have a properly thought out, planned, and properly executed will, where you name someone who's going to be in charge and where your stuff goes to whom and to what, maybe your favorite charitable organization, you're better off.
Right. And what about if you have kids?
Well, it's super important to have a will if you have kids that are minors. If you've got children who are under 18, a will is the place where you would name a guardian, someone who would take care of your children if you're no longer alive. It's very important to write that down. You don't want the state to come in and try to decide who will take care of your children.
Sure, that makes sense.
But even for people who are young or have young families, they may still be interested in supporting not just their family, but also organizations that are important to them or other family members. And a will is a good place to do that.
So tell us what legacy giving is.
Legacy giving is supporting an organization or a cause or causes that are important to you by leaving something to that organization when you die. A lot of us support our favorite organizations during our lives. We make gifts occasionally or every year. We see something in the news that really moves us and we send money. But legacy giving is a more impactful way to leave something to an organization. So I could leave some percentage to my children. I could leave a percentage to my good-for-nothing nephew. Still love him. Kidding. But I could also leave a percentage to Grow Food Northampton, and they will get that money directly.
And it felt good when I did it to make sure that organizations that I truly love, like Grow Food Northampton, will get support after I'm gone. You know, sort of like my values get to live on.
Right. It's a good way to leave a little bit of a lasting mark, right? To maybe even impart some wisdom to your loved ones about the value of giving, of supporting your community. I even think it's a little bit of activism in a way, right? To support those organizations.
So I don't want to leave people out, right? So if you've got a dog and a niece and a good-for-nothing nephew and family members that you want to leave items to and money to, you know, that gets kind of complicated, doesn't it?
It sounds like it. It sounds like, and it can be a little overwhelming if you're sitting down at the kitchen table with a piece of paper and you're trying to figure out who gets what. Although I'm biased, I like people to sit down with an attorney who can really sit down and evaluate all of those things that you own, the different types of assets that you have, a car, a retirement account, a house, maybe you have a life insurance policy through work, things like that. And then figure out what makes the most sense. You know, who do you want to get what, or what fractional share would you want to give to your niece and to support your dog? And then someone like me can sit down and let you know where to put what to put in your will and what to designate on a beneficiary designation form, so that it all works together and that your desires are accomplished.
So it sounds like it could be complicated.
It doesn't have to be. It sounds like it, but it really doesn't have to be. And it's always going to depend on who you're working with. And it's always a good idea to inquire up front as to whether it's going to be an hourly fee if you're working with an attorney, or a flat fee if you're going to try to do it on your own, which I hope you don't. It can really be more expensive if you don't have a good will in place. When we talk about the state of Massachusetts writing that will for you, well, if you have to go through the probate process after your death without a will, it's very complicated and can be more expensive than it would be if you had a will.
Nice.
I just want everyone to have their ducks in a row.
Quack. I'm sorry.